You've probably been trading for some time now, and for some reason, it feels like you can't get a hang of this trading thing. But still, you see people every day say they made money trading, and you think to yourself, is it that trading is not for me, or is there something I'm doing wrong? For me, I spent 2 years in that phase, and it was hell because it felt like the more I keep showing up and learning, the further away I was from profitability. And fun fact being that at those times of my struggle, I thought I knew what I was doing. I felt very confident of my knowledge. It was only later I realized that I really hadn't gained mastery of what it takes to be consistently profitable and make money trading. And believe me, if I wasn't brought to light on the things I'll be telling you shortly, I don't think I'll be where I am right now. By the end of this video, you know exactly how to be a grandmaster in the game of trading. I used to think that gaining mastery in trading and becoming profitable involved mastering a strategy and getting to a point where you know the ins and outs of the strategy. But even after gaining mastery on a strategy, it would only work for a while and later stop working, which easily got me into cycles of trying new strategies every now and then. Because no matter how faithful you are to the strategy and try to follow the generic advice of stick to your strategy, the question is, do we still stick to the strategy after I have blown our accounts? These were all issues I faced. I was in this cycle until I got someone who actually showed me what it really takes to be a master of this game called trading. Now listen, there are three major pillars of trading, and to get consistently profitable, you need to be a master of all three. You literally can't leave any stone unturned. There's the technical aspect of trading, the psychological aspect of trading, and lastly, the financial aspects of the game. Now let's break down these three pillars. Technical aspect of trading refers to strategy. This involves you being able to analyze charts, study charts, and potentially make money being right or wrong on bullish moves or bearish moves. Mastering technical analysis or the technical aspect of trading is not so easy because you get everybody who comes up with their opinions about this is the strategy I used to make $10,000. This is the strategy I used to make $12,000. This is the strategy I used to make X amount of dollars. And the problem here is that those people, when they do those breakdowns for you, they're just showing you one scenario, most likely 1 week's case study of how the strategy works in the week. But the market will not always deliver the same way it delivered that week throughout the year or throughout your trading career. There are dynamics. Things are going to change. Conditions will change. When conditions change, will that person upload the current variation of that model to be profitable in that condition? Not really. That's actually why if you're building a strategy, build it in form of models. You don't just build a strategy and say, oh, if price does this, I do this. If price does that, I do that. That's not how it works. Your strategies should be built off normal price movement. Take a look at your trading view chart, your MT5 chart, any charts given to you. You'd find out on the vertical, you have price, and on the horizontal you have time. Your system should be built off of not just price action but time. Any profitable trader will tell you that they have times with which they execute. Those times they are executing are the highest probability times with which their model best delivers to put them at a position whereby they come out profitable. You know other blocks, right? You know fair value gaps. Have you noticed that those other blocks, it seems like they don't even work all the time? Fair value gaps don't work all the time. Even the liquidities, price doesn't usually reverse after some liquidity sweeps all the time. There are times of the day where price sweeps a liquidity pool, it reverses, taps into another block very swiftly, reverses, right? Gets in a fair value gap, you see the move very swift. So you're building your model to take trades at that particular time where price is most likely going to be in your favor. That is having an edge. Having an edge is not just saying, okay, price bounces off support and resistance. So when price comes to a support in line with the psychological level, touching a trend line, oh, it's a third touch, I'm buying, you're wasting your time. It's not going to work. I currently have 3 models I used to trade, and one of them is called the time-based liquidity model. My students know this a lot. And this model is so sophisticated and built in such a way that you can almost never be wrong. I built that model solely off the concept that price would reverse after it runs liquidity pools. But there are many liquidity pools because literally liquidities are highs and lows, old highs and old lows, right? Equal highs and equal lows. But there are many liquidity pools in the market. So how do we know which exactly price is reversing from? Now we know by the ones created at certain times of the day. Price always comes for liquidities created within sessions and periods. We're talking of previous days highs and lows, Asian highs and lows, London highs and lows, overnight highs and lows. Anything aside this, I wash my hands and not treating them as liquidities. Same thing with other blocks. There are other blocks that you're looking forward to in recent price swings. You're not taking an order block from 5-6 swings ago and drawing it out and saying that's what you're trading off of. Most likely, to master the technical aspect of trading, the fastest way is to get somebody to teach you. When you get someone to show you exactly what they do, you've cut the journey in half because you're just taking what they do, replicate. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, you meet them back, they make you work for you. So long as it's working for them, it should work for you. If it's not working for you, then there's something you're doing wrong. Going back to them with questions is you getting answers to where you're missing it. Is you getting corrected as to where you're missing it. Because if you don't do this, you might never get that system that will work for you. My time-based liquidity model, for example, might not work all the time, and I need to switch to top-down analysis because of conditions have shifted. How do you even know when conditions have shifted? These are things a mentor will teach you. I did not learn it on my own. The things I do now that made me profitable, I was taught. I was thinking I'm a smart individual, so I'll figure this thing out myself. And I stayed 2 years, and after staying 2 years, I was like, oh boy, if we keep playing for these 2 years, we'll play for another 2 years and another 2 years, and we'll quit. The time is going. I came into the trading industry quite young. When I'm saying I'm staying for a while, I don't want to get rich old. So let me pay the price and do what it takes to learn this thing now and learn it once and for all. And it was the best decision I ever made. After doing that, it was uphill. Funny enough, I met someone who resonated with my style, who was doing something similar to my style, but he was the correct version because I trade ICT concepts. So what basically just happened is he showed me the corrections. This is what I'm doing right, but these are the things I'm doing wrong. I took his own path, blended with already what I knew, and it was fire. If you want to get ahead fast, I will not advise you to sit and build a system. You can't. You might do it, but it's going to take you a long time. Cut that time in half, get someone to show you, then take their system and go study. That is the secret to the technical aspect of trading, to be very frank with you. If you don't believe or you don't like what I'm saying, or you can't be able to afford to pay somebody, then you just have to sit back and put in the work. But I mean, put in the work. You're going to have to study price. You're not coming to back test. You're coming to study how price moves. This is how price moved in New York session today. Go to the next day. This is how price moved in New York session. This is how price. You're trying to be a specialist. You're trying to be a sniper. You're not trying to be a generalist, except you're swing trading. So long as it's day trading, the same day trading I do, you need to be a specialist. Have a certain asset class, a certain time of the day, and a certain price you're looking at. This area is always what I'm looking at for every trading day. This asset class is what I'm looking at for every trading day. This time is what I'm looking at for every trading day. Now do this over and over. Study price movement within that whole period. Every trading day. Don't do London tomorrow. Tomorrow you're doing Asia. Next tomorrow you're doing no. You strip it down to one. Try to be a specialist. When I say asset class, for those that don't understand, for example, one asset class is the indices asset class. So we're talking of US 30, NAS, S&P, right? US indices. You may be doing XXX USD, GBP USD, Euro USD, but I think if you're doing currencies, just stick to one or two max. Right, one is best. Master it and study it because you're trading intraday. You need to be focused. I trade for like 2.5 hours a day, and that's it. After that time, no trades. Before that time, no trades. Why? Because before my trading time, liquidity is building up for me to manipulate and distribute, and after my trading time, it's going to be another build up for the next trading session. These things I didn't learn on my own. You need someone to pull you through. Once they pull you through, then the next things I'll be saying in this video, you can do on your own. But most likely, if you get a mentor, he's going to pull you through everything I'm saying in this video already. The psychological aspect of it is quite easy for me, but it may not be easy for other people. But I'll just give you a few psychological tips. So psychology basically is your emotions. When you're trading a system, your system has to be repeatable. If it's not repeatable, you're doing something wrong. It has to be repeatable and identical across other trading days. Day 1 trade should be like day 2 trade. Day 2 trade should be like day 3 trade. Although there will be times when conditions will change. Aside that, it should be easily repeatable. It's not something that's going to be so hard that it's so complex that you can't even repeat it. You don't even know if you're repeating it. You just know that you're trading off an order block. That's bullshit. It should be repeatable. So when it's repeatable now, you control your mind. That is where psychology is. Psychology is your ability to tame your mind and put it under your control. It's impossible for you to not be angry after you lost. Yeah, it's impossible. You will not feel good, right? But you have it under control. You're not going to play small trades to recover, right? You're not so angry that you're like, oh my god, because why? You didn't lose too much. What happens is you can't control the anger, but you can control what causes the anger, right? If you lose $1 and you lose $200, this is going to be the same feeling. No, $1, you're like, oh, it's just $1, no problem. $200, what's going to happen? You're paying more, $200. You now pick your calculator and calculate it in your local currency. You're like, oh boy, I don't lose money. Sorry, I'm speaking PG now. But yeah, that's what happens. Everybody has their emotional or their psychological trigger. What triggers you may not be what triggers me. We people like to generalize this psychology thing. No, everybody is different. You're a different personality. He's a different personality. She's a different personality. I'm a different personality. And what may make me feel bad or what may make me feel good may not be the same thing. Some of you might not even be excited over my strategy. You may be excited over the withdrawal. Some other people might be excited over the fact that they're even watching this video and listening to me talk and like, wow, someone that can resonate with us is over here. You're excited and you just pick things I'm saying unfiltered and get on a trade and you fuck yourself. Do you understand? So you have to be very, very, very careful with your triggers. You need to know your triggers, and the only way to know your triggers is by you getting a book and a pen. When you fuck up, when you mess up, you write down your mess up. Then what caused this mistake? What caused this psychological error? Finding out what caused this, do it over a sample size. You just found your triggers. Guess what? Never do those triggers and the mistakes will never happen. Your revenge trading. What made me revenge trade? I took a loss that was big. Why did I take a loss that was big? Because I was thinking the trade would go in my favor. So why was I thinking the trade would go in my favor? Because I have a new strategy, or I have a strategy that I think is working, or I want to pass. So eliminate the wanting to pass or the excitement that comes with the strategy. All the other ones are automatically eliminated. Or I risk too big. Why did you risk too big? Because of I want to make money. Okay, since you don't have money and you want to make money, get a job, get a side income so that you don't have the need to want to make money, since your expenses are covered. So there'll be no need for you to want to make too much money, and you'll be good. Problem solved. So everything that you have, if it's FOMO, why are you afraid? Because you're basically FOMOing in and out of trades because you don't have gathered data on your system. You don't know if it will work or not, and you don't want to miss this trade because of you missed the last trade. So how do you know if you missed the last trade? How are you sure you're not going to miss tomorrow's trade? Because you don't have data. So but if you gather data and know that your system will show up every trading day, you're not going to be FOMOing in and out of trades. You're confident. Most of the things, actually, if I be honest with you, most of the things that cause psychological problems is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of how your system works, lack of knowledge on the potentials of your system. If you can figure out these things, most of your psychological problems or your emotion problems will be half solved. On charts, you should be emotionless. Emotionless doesn't mean you will not be happy, you will not be sad after a loss, but it just means you will not be too excited. If you're too excited over your game, what does that mean? You want too much money. I always tell people that you can't, usually my students, not even just people, you can't make life changing money in one trade. And for any reason you're making life changing money in one trade, you take a life changing loss too in one trade, which should never be the case. Everything should be controlled. Your losses controlled, your wins controlled. You should not be excited over a win because you actually should know how much you should win at the end of the trade. So when this is your state of mind, you're working from a pre-planned state. Nothing takes you by surprise. Nothing should actually take you by surprise when you're trading. These are the things that, if they are left uncontrolled, they in turn turn to bad psychological problems. If you have any psychological problems, because I may not be able to state everything in this video, send me a DM. I'll leave it in the description. My Telegram DM, I'll leave it in the description. Send me a message, tell me about psychological problems, and I'll see what I can do to talk to you about it. I might be sending you long voice notes just in case. So, but everybody has their own psychological issues, so I can't be addressing everybody's on this video. But just do well to send me a DM, and I'll see what I can do for you. The last pillar of the game of trading is the financial aspect. Do you have money? If I ask you, do you have money? If you feel you have money, you should be trading. If you feel you don't have money, you should not be trading. It's that simple. What do I mean by you should not be trading? You should not be trading a live account. You should not be trading a prop firm account. You should be trading a demo account and getting to gain more knowledge while looking for a way to get money. We are in this industry to grow money. We're not in this industry per se to make money. You have to bring something in that you potentially grow. It's just like planting a seed. You plant it, there must be a seed to plant, right? So if there's nothing to plant at all, and then you don't have abundant supply of that seed to plant, you should not be in the industry, because you not win. You can't win. It's an industry for investors. It's just that our brokers have they've brought it down for us, for you and I, to be able to trade a small $1,000, $200, $100, right? But if you don't have a constant supply of that money, I don't mean you should be extravagantly rich, because obviously we are coming here to actually better our lives, right? But at least have a job, have an income, no matter what the income is, no matter what the job is. Just make sure you have that consistent money coming in weekly or monthly or bi-monthly. However, you know that there's always money coming in. If that is the case, then you can now make plans as to how much to remove that you want to use to try out trading. If you found $100 and I found $100, and $100 is just lying around, it's not so much money. It's not even that amount of money. It's like petrol money, that kind of thing, right? It's petrol money for the house, for the car, and stuff like that. And for you, $100 is a lot. It's a lot. And then two of us, who is going to be working at a better state of mind when trading? Because I know that it's just $100 now. Come on, I could risk $25 on it, $20 on it, and whatever. I could even risk 50 on it, and I won't be afraid. And I can do that and post online and say, "Oh, I flipped my $100 to this amount." And you, $100 is your last money. You want to play the same stunts, whereby if you now lose that money, you're fucked. Now, if you're placing that stunt, what if it goes bad? What happens? Now, what is even gonna happen to you who that money is so much for you? Me, who $100 is nothing for me. I'm not even putting emotions to it, because even if I flip my 100 to 1,000, even the 1,000 is not so much for me. It's money I can make easily on my main account. It's money I can make anywhere. It's money I can even make from YouTube paycheck. But for you now, who $100 is so important, like, it's not like it's your life, but $100 is important to you. It doesn't come by easily. If you're funding a $100 account, you should be risking like $5 or $3. It is small, but it's only the small amount of money, the money that is negligible to you, that you can actually trade and not have any emotions. Because when you're trading with emotions and you're scared of that money, you take setups that are not your setups. You take trades that are not trades in line with your system. You start jumping the gun. You start taking late trades, or you start getting in too early before the trade is ready because you don't want it to leave you, because you don't want to miss out on the potential money. Now, there is no way you have this habit and you keep making money consistently and getting profitable. It's impossible. If this is your habit, you keep losing money. These are the three main keys. You need to have a working system, and a working system is not really easy to do yourself. You need someone to teach you. Imagine you come on now and I tell you, sit you down, like my mentorship lasts for 3 months, and I sit you down and I tell you, this is my system now, let's get on charts, and I have a session with you and I guide you through this, exactly my system. This is the course, this is what you need, this is how I trade, these are the past class recordings. I walk you through all these things. Now go through and come back with questions. You go through this thing, come back with questions, you're wrong about it, I set another class and we go through these things in 2 to 3 weeks. Literally, you've understood the system. Now the next 2 to 3 weeks is for you to study it and gather data yourself, because I've gathered data. If you want my data, I can always give to you, but I've gathered data. Now as I've gathered my data, I'm speaking to you with the confidence of what my data has given me and trades I've taken and the money I've made. But you now, for your own personal confidence, you need to do the same. You may not gather as much as me, but gather some data, at least 3 months of data to 6 months of data, so you can give you that same confidence I have when taking the system, that same confidence that helps me eliminate FOMO and all these other emotions and feelings when trading. Now if you have this, the next step is test waters with a small account, because after you've demo traded for a while and you forward tested, you've journaled and documented your trades, now you know what you're doing. In 2 months you should know exactly what it is you're doing if you're very serious. Now in the third month, I want to see you on a small account. I want to see you get used to risk. I want to see you get used to the psychology. I want you to get your hands wet with the industry, know how it works, know how it feels to do what is right, and then still manage your risk correctly. You get this maybe on a small profile account or a small live account. You handle this for a while, and then if you get good at it, it's good. If you make mistakes, you try, right? But the point is, you already know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for. Now it's just for you to become a master at it. You first learn to play a game, then you gain mastery. You first learn to drive, then you become a professional driver. So that's the case here. You do these things, it works for you for a while. Next step, we're trying to scale up, because now we've seen, oh, there's success, versus I let you go. Now after this video, you go and start to build a system. You stay 2 months, you've not figured out anything yet, because you end up going back to the cycles of trying it out, is losing. You're like, oh, I don't think this is what Principal meant. Principal did not say the system will lose this much. Or you say, okay, why don't I go to YouTube, take somebody's own and refine? You go to YouTube, take someone's own, try to refine it. You don't even know exactly what to refine. Guess what? Before you know what's happening, we're in December 2025 and you've not gotten anything tangible from trading. And by next year, I'll drop another video like this, and then you're sitting down again and you're watching. Is that really why you're in this industry? Know your why. It's very, very important. I've literally given you the blueprint to make it with trading. If you want to be mentored by me, the link to join the mentorship is going to be in the description. If you want to make further inquiries on the mentorship, or you want to talk to me privately, I'll leave the link to my Telegram DM in the description. Until I touch base with you, be safe.